all of these responses are valid. If I froze, that's valid. If I slapped her mouth, which I did, that's 100% valid. All of these things are valid, like, because what isn't valid is that person touching me.
Do you really know how I'm feeling? Do you really know how?
Hi, welcome to Mayowa's world. Okay, you guys, it has been a really long time since I made a YouTube video. I have a lot of excuses. One excuse being I had the biggest show of my career in Berlin, Germany, my show Queen Kong, that had over 400 people come, and that was unreal. And planning for that was like giving birth to something bigger than me, and that took up a lot of my time. And then I moved from Germany. I am now in the US. That took a lot of my time. Often if I take like long breaks in making YouTube videos, I'm probably going through a breakup or I'm moving or both in this circumstance. So all of those things combined into one just created space for me to process everything. But there's some really good news. One of the good news being that I just got a MacBook Pro. I'm like rolling my eyes because like low-key I've been like a fucking PC girl from the jump, but like the computer I had, which is a Lenovo Flex, I'll show you this computer with like all of my stickers. It took me 26 hours to render like a 10-minute video. So every video that you guys have seen on my channel, it took me like a day just to render it, to then take like half a day just to upload it. So it's really like slowed my process down. So I'm excited to like edit this together and see how much quicker I can upload now that I pay for this fucking MacBook Pro, which cost dumb amount of money, like stupid amounts of money. I better be like the best YouTuber ever. This better cure colonialism, trauma, sadness, singleness. I better, like, this MacBook Pro symbolizes a fresh start because sis, my money on that, crazy expensive. So I'm excited to like create better content and have a higher quality in general. So today's gonna be a little bit of a topic about hair, but also social issues. I recorded a YouTube video 2 or 3 weeks ago to upload for you guys. I watched the video was like 25 minutes. I watched the video back and none of it was in focus. But I would much rather have someone do that to me than grab my hair. I will show you guys how sad I was when I saw that the entire 25 minutes was out of focus. But then I was like, you know what, I wanna get better stuff. I wanna get better at understanding my equipment. I just need to just level up. And that just took time. And here I am, leveled up. So let's go. Okay, so I was in London a month ago, and while I was there for a festival called Sex and Rage, which is a really beautiful festival. And it dealt with like a lot of really incredible issues, like talking about consensual sex, talking about sexual trauma, talking about sexual liberation. It was like all these topics that erotic readings. It was really beautiful. I just like never have been at a conference that like focuses on sex as like a liberation thing, and like as also like very like intellectualized. So it was really cool for me. While I was there, I decided to go, I was with some friends and we're like, you know, let's go to this club, this place called Harpies. And I was like, you know what, sure, it's a strip club. So I was like, okay, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Atlanta, let's go. And this was a strip club that was actually that has dancers that are like non-binary, like QT BPOC, like really freaking, just like not like a typical strip club, and just like really beautiful bodies, which in itself is actually really beautiful to see that in stripping generally. So I was like, all right, I went out. It was a good time. I was watching the dancers. It was like I was kikiing. I was having a good little experience. Then I decided to dance with my friends. You know, there's like hip hop playing. So I'm dancing with my friends. Kaya's My Neck, My Back comes on. Obviously that's my anthem. You know what I'm saying? I was like 12 or 11 when that song came out, and like the 11-year-old me was like, ah! You know what I mean? So like when I hear that song, it's my song. So I'm doing my little thing, you know what I'm saying, doing my little two-step, you know, my little twerk. And I'm dancing, and all of a sudden I feel someone's hand do this. And I looked at my friends because I was like, why would my friends do that? I looked at my friends and they look shook. They're like, and I'm like, why, what? And they did this, like that wasn't me. So I turned around and I see that there was this white lady with long blonde hair, and she did this and was like, yeah, it was me. And then she winked. Bro, I can't even tell you. You know, sometimes when like really horrible things happen so quickly, you don't even have the time to process anything. Like at first because at first it's also like someone grabs your hair from the back. So it wasn't like I saw a person coming. You know, it's different if someone like, if you see it in your peripheral and you're like, oh no, don't touch me. But if it's like from the back and then like with a pull, I was like, you're just not, also to Kaya, my neck, my back. Like you're just like, you're not even checking, you know? So I turn around at her and she's like, yeah, it was me. And then like winked. And then, it's not even funny. I'm just so shook. And I just was like, don't touch my hair. Like, don't fucking touch my hair. And she was like, oh, your hair's so pretty or something. I wanted to touch it. And like, you know that meme where that girl is like looking at the equations? Like I'm trying to figure it out because I'm like, what? And as I'm like putting all the pieces together of this violation, like I'm in a club that's supposed to be like centering black and people of color and like non-binary dancers, right? And then like this like white lady comes up and like grabs my hair, but not even like, not that, I mean, no touching is fine, right? But it wasn't like she like, I don't know, like this motherfucker, she like pulled my hair. And then she had the audacity to wink, you know? So all these, and then I'm like, I love this song, My Neck, My Back. And every time I hear this song from this day on, I will think of this woman. I will remember her. This song is ruined. My 11-year-old self is in pain right now because she could never enjoy this song as fluidly as she was enjoying it. I think it's interesting though, because I talk about it because for me, hair is very spiritual. And for me, I am the only person who touches my hair, and I'm the only person who wants to touch my hair. And I think we have to get better at understanding that like hair is a part of people. My hair is not like something separate that it's not a wig. You know what I mean? I was like, what if I had like would you go up to someone who has like fake lashes and be like, oh my God, it's so pretty, and like pull it off? You know what I mean? Like, would you go up to someone, your lips are so nice, and you just rub the lips? Like, oh, it's just such a nice, you know what I mean? Like, would you do that? No, you know? And black hair is so political, and I think it just shows that people don't take it seriously. They don't take your autonomy to say, I don't want you to touch me. This isn't for you. Like, yes, my hair is pretty. Yes, it looks different than your hair. No, it does not mean that I want to be touched. These are all very separate things. And that's why I'm really fascinated by like conversations about consent, because in the ways in which like we allow certain things and not others, like why is it okay for her to touch me? So all of this, and I went up to her and I just slapped her mouth. I just slapped her with the most pride in my decisions, with the most certainty, because you grabbed my hair like out of the blue, like out of nowhere, like in a space that's supposed to like cater to people like me. You know what I mean? Like what? Anyway, as I slapped her mouth, I didn't realize that the security was just like right here. But also, I have no shame in my actions, facts. Like I'm obviously making a video about this. I don't feel shame for doing this. You put your hands on me, I'm defending myself. Security comes and she's like, why would you touch her like that? Why would you put your hands on her like that? To me. And I'm like, okay, so she clearly touched me and I slapped her, and you're like upset with me. And she was just like, why would you slap her like that? And I was like, slap her like what? She's like, why did you slap her so hard? Versus slapping her very softly, versus like a gentle, you know what I mean? Like what are these questions? Also, like, this is a strip club, so I'm sure you're used to seeing like way more violence in that space, right? Like I don't think I am the most violent person you've seen in that space, but I also realized that like people aren't comfortable with women expressing any kind of physical discomfort or having rage or having anger or having like any kind of physical like don't touch me. Also, I was like, she touched me first, and the lady was like, it just wasn't that big of a deal, like what she did to you. This is also a white lady, and so I'm just like in this space, and I'm like, and then all of a sudden I'm covered by like 4 security guards, and they're like trying to see if they should like take me out of the club, and I'm like, why? First off, why does it take so many people to talk with me? Because I'm not like in a state of rage. I'm like clearly fine, and why am I the person who's being surrounded? And then during this, the girl showed her ass because she ended up saying like F-U-U-B. I don't know why I'm like censoring these words. Like she said, fuck you, bitch. You should be grateful that I even touched you. It was a compliment. And I was just like, wow. So when she said that, I think that they heard and they were like, okay. And I told them, like, from a spiritual point of view, no one's supposed to touch my hair. Like, so in Yoruba culture, I'm dada, or someone whose hair naturally freeforms. I don't manipulate my hair whatsoever. It's no one is supposed to touch my hair. It's like, I was even reading that back in the day, if someone touched your hair, they're supposed to actually like give you money or something, like as a sorry. Like it's a spiritual thing. So no one is supposed to touch my hair. Also, if you don't know someone, you don't touch them, period. And then I started to think, I was like, this is really interesting, because if I was in a club and a man grabs my ass and I slap him, nobody would question that, right? Like you'd be so quick to get him out the club, you know, like that's fucked up, get out of the club. But if I'm in a space and a woman grabs my hair, also it's a very sexual thing because she winked, right? So I don't think it was like a, you know what I mean? I think it was also like this sexual undertone. She grabs my hair and I slap her. Suddenly the conversation changes, because like, I think this discussion of like, is my hair my body, a conversation? When like, I would much rather someone grab my breast than grab my hair. Obviously both is bad. I would prefer neither, but my hair feels like way more of a violation to myself than anything else. And ultimately my hair is a part of my body. But I think in society we're very quick to almost separate it. Like, you know, when we have all these bans that are like, oh yeah, like we don't allow locks, people who wear locks to join the army, or like to have a job. Certain jobs I can't do because of my hair. Like obviously these aren't jobs I want, but it's like legally written to discriminate against Black people because of their hair. And I think it's because we think that black hair isn't a part of someone. Like it's a separate thing that we opt into. Like I opted into having hair like this, you know? So I should opt into people touching me. And that's like equivalent to being like, just because I have like a big ass, that means I should be grabbed, right? Like I think this like really goes into so many deep discussions. Also too, just the fact that like, if it wasn't for the friend I was with who was explaining to the bodyguards and to the security, which is a white woman, that I didn't do anything wrong, they wouldn't have believed me, right? Like, so almost like my voice when I'm discussing my, what is violation to me, like isn't real. I find the person who like organizes the event, I tell them what happened. She's really interesting. She's like, I'm so sorry that happened. She's like, however you respond to someone touching you is on you. Because if you want to slap that person, if you want to push that person, if you want to cry, all that's valid. So I'm like, all right. I'm telling her, as I'm talking to her, the security person who came up to me and was like really aggressive to me comes up again. She's like, this girl pointing at me, she's like, she's overreacting. She slapped someone. And then the lady who organizes it was like, yeah, but she slapped someone because they touched her. And she goes, yeah, but it wasn't a big deal. All the girl did was touch her like this. And she flicked my hair. Bro, when I tell you the amount of self-control I had to, and she was like cornering me and she was trying to intimidate me because she wanted me to hit her. Obviously I'm not gonna hit her because I'm not trying to fuck it. This isn't like WWF, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not someone who, like I've never put my hands on someone without consent. I will never do that. Like, quote me now, motherfucker. You will never see me unconsensually touch someone. I'm so careful about that. I know what it feels like. I would never do that to somebody. So to slap someone, it has to be for a reason. And plus, like, boys fight for way dumber reasons every day. Like I've seen a fight because it was in Berlin. I saw this fight where like it was raining and this guy tried to close his umbrella and the umbrella splashed water on this other guy's shoe, and it was like a brawl between like 4 people because that guy got his friends, that guy got that friend. It was like 4 people fighting because water splashed on his shoes. When it's, you know what I mean, like people fight, and like no one wants to censor when guys do it, right? Like nobody's like, oh, you know, boys will be boys. I get touched, I slap someone, and it's suddenly I'm like evil. So this language is like really telling of a lot. And then the fact that she, as the security working in this club, touches me and does nothing is also wild. And then on a deeper level, when I was talking to the organizer saw the security touch my hair, and all she did was like, she just whispered like, hey, you shouldn't do that to the security. And I'm also like, that shows me a lot about allyship as well, because you're organizing these events that are like catering to like Black and POC people and like non-binary bodies and like all that stuff, all these like language of just like fluff. And when you see something go down, you like don't do anything, you know, you just like whisper to stop. Like you're just as bad as the person who did it because you're not actually stepping up, especially as an organizer, as myself, as someone who's been an organizer. I understand mistakes happen when you do events. Like so many things can go wrong, you know, but it's, as an organizer, you have to step up in every situation. Like when a mistake goes on, you have to correct it. So if you're watching your own security guard physically assault me or put their hands on me or touch my hair and you don't do anything, why are you organizing, yo? Like what is your event for? And especially when you knew that that was like inappropriate. And she then, after the security left, she apologized to me and offered me drinks. And I was like, I'm really sorry. And I'm like, I don't want your drinks. Like, you didn't do anything when the time came, you know? But the way I felt violated the next day, like the amount of energy it took for me to like get out of bed and like wash, the way I washed my hair, Lord G, like I was washing, I was like, ah! You know what I mean? Like, cause I was just like, I felt really violated. It felt like something was taken from me. And it's just frustrating that we don't believe Black women. You know, if I tell you like, I don't want you to touch my hair, and then you touch my hair and you don't think it's a big deal, like that's a problem. I feel also too like we should get better at like censoring or trying to control how people respond to violence. Like all of my actions would have been valid. If I cried, that would have been valid. If I didn't do anything, so I think sometimes I see people who get their hair touched and they don't do anything, you freeze, which is like understandable. And people are like, well, if I was you, I would have, shut up, bro. You weren't them. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these responses are valid. If I froze, that's valid. If I slapped her mouth, which I did, that's 100% valid. All of these things are valid, like, because what isn't valid is that person touching me. And it's really important that we understand how power dynamics work, because I am not the villain for responding to violence. Like, I'm just not. And I'm making a video about this because I stand clear in my convictions, and also I want to hold accountable venues and organizers that say that what they're doing is like inclusive and it's violent as well, and you're allowing a space to violently exist, you know, like, yeah. And also just to let people know who do have freeform locks, who may be facing like people touching your hair, like it's not, if you don't want that, it's not okay. Like, and it is really hard to assert your boundaries. It's really hard in life, like assert any kind of boundaries, especially if society doesn't see that as valid. It's really hard. So I really feel for you guys. And I guess maybe also it's just letting you know some of the things that comes with having this hair is sometimes people feel very entitled to touch it because their fascination with it has peaked. So stand your ground, yo. Like, rock your thing and don't dim your light for someone. Like, I felt the need afterwards to want to like cover my hair more, and I don't know, like not show it, because sometimes I'm a bit overwhelmed with people who want to touch me. But I'm remembering it's literally my body, and this is like my crown or my, like, you know, aura. So why would I hide that? So this video might be long. I hope it's helpful. I'm gonna get back into making more YouTube videos. Watch, bro. With my MacBook Pro now, like, your girl is like, she's out here. So this video should be up by tomorrow. Okay. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Cheers.
You don't really know how I'm feeling. You don't really know how I'm feeling.